All right, so Judge, we all know that AI has been the hot trade, but is it starting to show too many signs of getting maybe too hot? How do you separate some of the hype from the high quality? Joining me now is Dan Ives, the global head of tech research at Wedbush Securities, who recently launched an ETF with his name as the ticker literally on the line. IVES is the ETF name, and it's basically your concentrated picks within artificial intelligence. What is the common denominator or the differentiating factors that make these the top picks amongst your AI plays?
It's who I view as really the winners. I mean, in terms of this disruptive technology theme, look, I think it's a fourth industrial revolution. So it's not just about chips, it's about who do you play in hyperscale, software, names like Palantir, consumer names like Meta, autonomous, you look at names like Tesla, of course, names like Aqua from a nuclear perspective. So our whole view is this is really what I view as the winners and the second, third, fourth derivatives of the $2 trillion that's going to be spent in the next 3 years.
Now, when you talk about the mechanics of an ETF, you're kind of managing, advising, sub-advising on the portfolio. When it comes to what goes in or out, how often do you rebalance? If one name falls out of favor, how do you find the replacements? What's the thought process there?
Yeah, these are all based on our Ives AI 30. So these are reports. So as we put them out, 3 million air miles the last 25 years. I mean, we do that on the ground trying to understand who the winners are. Those come in out of the report. So if we focus on new winners, they come in. If someone I believe is now maybe like from a technology perspective, engineers showing, companies showing that they're not performing, then they come out. So ultimately it's really, this is dynamic every quarter. And look, and that's investors around the world have relied on us in terms of tech. But when I view the AI revolution, it's trying to identify the theme and the winners and the ways to play, what I view as probably the biggest theme we've seen in the last 40, 50 years.
So if this is that fourth industrial revolution, and you mentioned kind of around the world and global, most of that is the U.S. There's no doubt about it. It's maybe quantitatively so. It's not just, though, in the U.S. There's international plays in AI as well. What's the thinking there?
Yeah, I mean, Baidu, Alibaba. I mean, because our view is that you have to have China exposure when it comes to AI. Look, there could be more international, over the coming, months, over the coming years. But Dom, this is, as I talked about, I mean, this is second inning of a 9-inning game. And when we look at the AI revolution, we're now just starting to see it go from Godfather of AI, Jensen, NVIDIA, to software, to the use cases. And I think that's why what makes me so excited is that this is something that's going to be going on for the next 5, 10 years as a theme.
And before we let you go, one more quick follow-up before we let you go. What do you think among those industry groups is the biggest driver of the AI trade going forward? I
mean, to me, it's software. Because when you look at names like Massive AI, Palantir, you look what we're seeing across hyperscalers in terms of software, Microsoft, one of our top picks, the use case phase is now just starting to play out. And that's why I think that's why I think you're going to see tech new all-time highs, going into the rest of the year. It's AI driving it. And I continue to believe in this AI party. It's only 10 p.m., and the party goes to 4 a.m.
All right, 10 p.m., 4 a.m. Scott, my thanks to Dan over here. We're going to continue this entire conversation over at etfedge.cnbc.com.